In the major cities, women push the boundaries as far as they dare, sometimes sporting colorful headscarves and even exposing their hair. But they risk arrest at any time by the police or the notorious Basiji militia. Men and women charged with maintaining public order and decency.
I was 15, 16, walking in the streets of Tehran, and all of a sudden a Basiji car stopped, and 6 of them got out of the car with their AK-47s and surrounded me, and they wouldn't look at me, and saying, "Sister, your chest is showing," and maybe a quarter size of my chest was showing. I had worn my hijab and tied it in the back, and they were wanting to take me with them, and I started to scream, "How dare you look at me from across the street and are looking at my chest? You're namahram, I won't let you arrest me, you have to bring somebody else to arrest me." And they thought, okay, she's crazy, we better leave this one alone. But yes, it's humiliating, humiliating.
In many parts of the country, all enveloping black is the norm.
As a woman, you have to disappear in the public eye. You cannot be. And so the more you attract attention to yourself, the more you're targeted, because you are supposed not to be. You are supposed to be invisible.
What is unbearable and ignominious is the power that a regime claim to control your body. And this is a direct attack to your freedom and dignity. And I think that is what makes the whole issue of dress code unbearable.
NEDA hated this head cover. She was tormented that she could not swim in the sea and be herself in the street. She really suffered because of that forced hijab.
The law restricts women's freedom in many other ways. She may not marry without the consent of her father or paternal grandfather. Divorce is the exclusive right of the husband, who automatically takes possession of the children at the age of 7 or even earlier if the woman marries again.
ازدواج کردید وقتی که ازدواج بکنید فرزندها دیگه به شما نمیرسن. من به خود روانی میشم به قرآن مجید. این بچه‌م چه روی قرار داره؟
Most serious of all, the value of a woman's life, half that of a man's. In court, the weight of a woman's testimony, half that of a man's, particularly unjust in cases of violent assault or rape.
If the man says, "No, I did not assault the woman," and a woman says, "Yes, you did," she has no chance of obtaining a conviction against the man. Even worse, the woman would subsequently be indicted for bringing false testimony.
Iran has the highest rate of execution of any country in the world as a proportion of the population. Apart from murder, the death penalty has been imposed for adultery, possession of drugs, homosexual acts, and even non-violent protest. The age of criminal responsibility for a girl is 8, for a boy 14. If an 8-year-old girl commits a capital offense, she might remain in jail awaiting execution on her 18th birthday.
For certain crimes, the death penalty is not administered by hanging, but by stoning. And stoning happens in a way that you're being buried in sand or in the ground up until your waist. And the rule is, if you manage to get out while people are throwing stones at you, you are free. You can leave. That's the rule for a man. However, women are not being buried up until their waist, but up until their breast, with their arms also being buried.
Such a contrast between the warmth and normality of this family and that other Iran outside their doors. And such courage, knowing what this regime is capable of. Yet they feel safer by speaking out.
The fact is that NEDA's family now belong to the whole nation. So people feel responsible towards them. anything that happens to them will just incite a new rage. And I'm sure that the government doesn't want that. So somehow, yes, they are protected by the love of the people of Iran towards NEDA.
The family held nothing back. NEDA's poems and her private diaries. Day after day, meet Amir, the man she'd loved since she was a teenager and married in 2004 when she was 21.
They were together for 3.5 years, and then they divorced. Her husband's family was from the north. NEDA was from Tehran. They were two opposite cultures.
She tried hard to save the marriage. It wasn't a bitter divorce. Somehow, she never stopped loving Amir. She always said that the way she loved was not the way she was loved. She had high expectations when it came to affections and emotions. That's why nobody could satisfy her emotional needs. Amir, even I couldn't love her the way she expected us to.
NEDA's books, including banned books, were proudly displayed. Among them, Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha and The Last Temptation of Christ, 100 Years of Solitude, Bronte's Wuthering Heights.
Almost all the books that she's reading are books that by nature are subversive of what the regime preaches. Wuthering Heights is interesting to me partly, of course, because it was very dangerous. It is about love and passion and the sacredness of the profane.
And beyond Wuthering Heights, Kazantzakis' Freedom and Death.
These books are so different, and that shows the curiosity. A mind that just wants to know, has the urge to know.
Thirst for knowledge and what her mother described as strong religious faith brought NEDA here, to Tehran's Azad University, to study Islamic philosophy. As in most government buildings, like this court, before they can enter, women are inspected to ensure there is no trace of makeup, no infringement of the strict dress code.
I went to high school in Iran, and it would happen at the high schools where they would line us up and they would inspect to see if any of the girls had makeup. They would inspect to see if you were properly dressed, if your hair was showing. And the way the women would treat you, it was awful, really. The way they would slap you on the cheek if you had makeup, or come with something and wipe their makeup off very hard and harsh. It's very humiliating for women.
Elham, not her real name, went to college with NEDA. To protect her family in Iran, her identity must be concealed.
Once NEDA was arguing with one of these women about her nail polish, or maybe the red lipsticks she wore. And I was just arrived, and I was also wearing red lipsticks and pinky high heels, which is completely forbidden in our university. And that woman was very busy arguing with NEDA. And NEDA winked an eye to me like, okay, go, I'm already fighting with her. And I was just sneaking from behind her, ran away and go to the university. She even started arguing much louder, so the woman put all her attention to NEDA, and I was just sneaking from behind her, and then ran away, go to the campus.
After just 2 terms, NEDA dropped out.
She used to say that the God they are teaching us at these universities is different from the God I worship. Her professor taught them about a vengeful God, but Neda said, "This is not my God. The God I worship is a compassionate and loving God."
The whole idea with this regime is that because they confiscated religion and turned it into an ideology, they deprived it of everything that makes religious humane, of everything that a girl like Neda would be attracted to. So this government, in fact, destroyed religion by claiming it and confiscating it.
Young people are turning away from religion in droves because they look and see what the government is doing in the name of religion. When they mention the name of God, you say in Arabic it's Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What does that translate to? In the name of God, the compassionate and the merciful. It's what you say. It's what you say as you... And yet this lot have interpreted this almost as if to say in the name of God, the bad-tempered and nasty.
According to her mother, Neda decided to pursue a career that would give her the freedom to travel.
She used to tell me that even if it's just for one day before my death, I want to live outside Iran. She started to go to a language course to learn Turkish.
Neda visited Turkey again and again, sometimes working as a tour guide. Here, she could dress as she wanted and roam free among friends. But back in Iran, her only freedom was behind closed doors. Dancing, Arab dancing, was her obsession, and music, Western and Turkish pop. But above all, the music of Gugush. An Iranian superstar. Neda took singing classes and practiced the songs of her idol, Gugush.
After the revolution, I lived under that regime for 21 years, much like Neda. I was banned from performing, even from appearing in public. I spent a month in prison. I was interrogated 4 times in Evin prison.
Gugush eventually left Iran, free again to perform. Her songs spoke directly to Neda's heart.
It's wonderful that my music resonated so well with Neda. But her voice is more powerful than mine. She speaks to all the world.
As the family laid out more and more that was personal to Neda, it was difficult to think of her as this great symbol, the voice of the nation. Here was a girl who always wanted to look her best, who worked out at the gym and followed her own strict diet plan. A girl who wanted to listen to the music and read the books she loved, to indulge herself in the coolest fashions, and who dreamed of a relationship where all the love she could give would be given back to her in return. In so many ways, any girl, anywhere. But this wasn't anywhere. This was the Islamic Republic of Iran, where even the clothes you wear have a political meaning.
Neda